Studios in Blayo. These are our leading stories tonight.
In our first story, a ZANU-PF candidate for Glenview South constituency, Comrade Takawira, wins by-elections.
Now, this and that feature tonight, we'll look at how gambling is affecting many.
And in our showbiz tonight, Zimbabwe Agricultural Society signs agreements with government to boost productivity and economic growth.
Later on in our sports bars, Highlanders outmaneuver Caps United 1-0 in a Kasalaga Premier Soccer League match played today.
We shall be taking a look at these and more stories as we progress. But first, we take a look at the early news in detail. A very good evening once again. In our first story, a ZANU-PF candidate, Comrade Takawira, has won the Glenview South constituency by-election after garnering 3,404 votes. Let's get more in the following report.
Comrade Takawira of the ZANU-PF party has been declared the winner of the Glenview South constituency by-election after securing 3,404 votes. The results were confirmed by Glenview South Chief Elections Officer Culinary, who stated that the voting process was peaceful, smooth and conducted in accordance with electoral laws.
Culinary independent 993, Tungamira independent 234, Makwangwaize George independent 681, Mukanda Perpetua NCA 77, Chao Mera Tranquility Tsitsi ZANU-PF 3,404. In that, I therefore declare the said Chao Mera Tranquility Tsitsi this day to be duly elected member of the National Assembly for Glenview South constituency.
The seat fell vacant after the death of legislator Grandmo Hakata.
I'm just humbled and I would like to promise vanhu Glenview South kuti zvatakangotanga tichiita pakampeni yedu tichapfuurira mberi nekuimprove Glenview South.
Residents and the electorate are confident that Comrade Takawira will continue with the development trajectory being already witnessed in the constituency.
Nezvese zvatichada kuita tichange tichingotanga tatuma iye watakasusukidza kuti atimiririre.
My-election akavhotwa murunyararo pasina kana mirishonga yakaitika. Toda kuzvikudza izvozvo.
Mwana wemusha mwana anotumika.
Tiri kunzwa kufara vagari vemuGlenview South. Iko zvinozvi tiri kufara nekuti aiwa takapiwa nguva yedu seZANU-PF tadzorera siti.
Tiri kutarisira kuti Tsitsi achaita zvikukutu muno. Tsitsi achaita zvikukutu because takamutsigira ari kuita zviro zvinofamba.
Ndinozvitenda zvikuru kuti vana vari kuteera tsoka dzana baba vavo havadi kurasa nyika.
ZANU-PF Harare Province Chairperson Comrade Godwin Masimirembwa attributed the victory to the development pace that the ZANU-PF party has set in motion.
Firstly, Harare Province is on the rebound. ZANU-PF is gaining strength after strength. And we want to credit this development to the developmental trajectory of His Excellency, the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. You see that service delivery has improved. The city of Harare has long neglected the residents of Harare, and the government has had to come in. And we have seen roads being repaired, we have seen refuse collection taking place, we have seen balls, solar balls being installed, and various other developmental activities taking place led by government in Harare.
Meanwhile, in a council by-election held in Ward 19 in Rushunga district of Mount Darwin, Trinity Madzenga of ZANU-PF won the by-election, garnering 784 votes, while independent candidate Itai Kwawiti got 19 votes. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
The Midlands Ministers' Independence Board lived up to its billing as stakeholders converged in Gweru to support the fundraising initiative for the less privileged.
The Midlands Ministers' Ball, which is a precursor to the National Independence celebrations to be held in Gogwa North District, attracted the who is who of society as preparations toward the hosting of the national event gathers pace. The event is in line with the Second Republic's inclusive development approach as it seeks to improve the livelihoods of the less privileged in society.
I commend the party and the business community for their overwhelming support towards this worthy cause, which complements the Second Republic's robust social safety nets for the underprivileged and marginalized communities, guided by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa's inclusive development trajectory that leaves no one and no place behind.
The Midlands provincial leadership is happy with the preparations to host this year's independence celebrations following massive works that have been done in preparation of the national event.
I commend our local authorities for providing graders, tippers, fire tenders, front-end loaders, and backhoe loaders, among others, to support the infrastructure development projects at Nembudzia. In this regard, the Midlands province is ready to host the nation and invites all Zimbabweans to this auspicious occasion as we commemorate the first and second Chimurenga Liberation War trajectory spearheaded by the sons and daughters of Zimbabwe.
This year's independence celebrations are being held under the theme Zim at 45, Devolve and Develop Together towards Vision 2030. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
Mbafa Primary School in Chegutu is set to host this year's Mashonaland West Provincial Independence Celebrations with Premier Soccer League sides Ngeze Platinum and Moza clashing on the day. We get more from Tamuka Charakupa.
Presiding over the ZANU-PF Mashonaland West Provincial Coordinating Committee PCC meeting held in Chegutu this Saturday, Politburo member Comrade Ziyambi thanked the government for decentralizing national events which were traditionally hosted in the capital. He also lauded people in the province for not partaking in expelled war veterans Geza's 31 March protest.
Pakanzi nevaya vakatandwa vaya toda kuita march inotyisa yekubvisa hurumende vanhu ndobva vati aiwa rega tigare tioneka ivo vari kuzviti vanonopinda murodi tikaona kusina abuda saka toda kutenda that spirit yakaitwa nevanhu vedu veZANU-PF. Iye zvino vaona kuti zvaramba vakungorotomoka manje taakuda kuenda kuparamendi tinoita zvekuti nezvekuti regai ndikuudze system yedu yeparamendi muchanzwa vachikunyeperai kudzipa uku munomu pabumbiro redu remutemo reconstitution parliamentary system yedu iparty parliamentary system. In our collective effort nepfungwa dzedu takabatana sezvatakaita izvi tisu tinodecide zvofilter up vaenda vaya vavatatumwa vopiwa direction kuti this is what the party agreed, be it per conference or per congress or piwa direction ne central committee.
Meanwhile, ZANU-PF Mashonaland West Provincial Chairperson Comrade Mary Mliswa Chikoka revealed that they have started the process to replace expelled renegade war veteran Blessed Geza and provincial member Guilford Gomwe. Geza, who was a member of the Central Committee, was expelled from the ruling party for undermining the authority of the president.
Please tauriranai ukoko kwamune muri kuti panyaya yekumhura hurumende neparty there is no compromise. Ndo zvakaita vana Geza, ndo zvaita Gideon anonzani Gomo yanzi Gifford ndizvozvo.
Minister of State for Mashonaland West Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Marian Chombo said preparations for the provincial independence celebrations are now at an advanced stage.
Takaona zve 100 kV transformer iri kutibatsira pano magetsi, so nyaya dzemagesi, nyaya dzemvura, it's all under control. Ne leader ne minister of transport nekutigadzirira migwagwa aidziyo yega yagadzirwa kuya kuno kana mamwe mafeeder roads ari kugadzirwa. Ndoda kuzvitenda izvezvo.
Party members were also warned against misuse of social media with the ruling party in the process of formulating a new social media policy. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chegutu.
Churches marked Palm Sunday, commemorating Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, setting the stage for the Holy Week and the journey to Easter, reflecting on the events leading up to his crucifixion. Fungai Jachi with that report.
Christians from various denominations celebrated Palm Sunday with processions and prayers, waving palm branches and singing victory songs to commemorate Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, with notable figures such as Vice President General Retired Constantino Chiwenga participating in the procession at the Roman Catholic St. Gerard's Parish.
I always treasure this day very well. It was nice. I got blessed. Everybody got blessed. We love this day. This is one of the best days of the Anglican calendar.
We celebrate his coming back into our lives, back into renewing us, so we know what we are supposed to be doing, working for our Lord Jesus Christ and serving him.
Tirangarira kufane kumuka kwa Jesu Kristo. Tichiyemura basa rakaita kuti auye pano pasi.
Clergy from the Methodist Church in Zimbabwe and the Anglican Church highlighted the importance of Palm Sunday, stressing Jesus' sacrifice and journey to the cross, a crucial moment in the Christian faith.
In humility kwatiri, in peace kwatiri, dosaka muchiona kuchitaurwa mucherechedzwa dongi, kunyange zvedu tisina dongi nhasi. Asi tinocherechedza nekufara, tichiimba, tichirumbidza, tichiwaridza nemashizha emuchindwi.
Rinokosha zuva iri nekuti rinomaka beginning of Holy Week. Patiri kutarisira rumuko rwaKristu. So tiri kutarisawo kuti Kristu ayapinda mukati memwoyo yedu, sekupinda kwaari kuita muJerusarema, tirarame nekugara sekuda kwake nguva dzese.
Palm Sunday is celebrated on the last Sunday before Easter and is recognized by Christians as they mark the beginning of the journey to the cross where Jesus Christ was crucified. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
It indeed is a wonderful time to be celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, the community in Dija Seke has received a commendation for taking the initiative to construct a clinic which the government has adopted under the devolution program.
The community in Dija Seke constructed a clinic due to the long distances they had to travel for medical services, and the project, now nearing completion, has received crucial government funding through devolution.
Isusu semadzimai takaona zvakanaka kuti tive nechipatara chedu padhuze nekuti nguva yataizvitakura taifamba distance yakareba kuenda kwazvakata kure zvakanyanyisa.
Apa sevagari muno rubatsiro nderwekuvaka zvese neroofing, kubva paroofing kwese kuenda mumatoilets evarume vari kushanda, zvese nekutema mascaffold edu. Hatisi kumbomirira kuti scaffold yekutengayo.
Labor ndo vari kuita zvese, mvura ndo vari kuteka, kwatinoda kunotora ivhu ndivanoloda zvidhina, everything zvese zvidhina zvakaiswa apa icommunity yakakanya zvidhina zvese zviri apapa. It's 150,000 zvakangwa necommunity.
Mashonaland East Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Itai Ndudzo, commended the community for the initiative.
Pano pane mucherechedzo wakanaka uye zvinhu zvinogona kuti nyika isimuke ibudirire kana vanhu vachishanda paumwe chete. Basa riri pano rakatoparurwa nevagari vemunzvimbo ino, vega vaona dambudziko ravainaro rekuti zvipatara zvanga zviri kure navo, ndomva vaunganidza zvavakakwanisa kuunganidza. Asi honorable member of parliament wenzvimbo inoona kuti atatika kwawo akaisa ruoko rwake achishandisa mari dzeconstituency development fund.
The clinic becomes the third health facility in Manyame Rural District Council constructed using devolution and council resources following completion of Willardale and Boni clinics. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Manyame.
Zimbabwe is hosting the Seventh-day Adventist Church's 4th Southern Indian Ocean Division Youth Camporee from the 13th to the 19th of this month.
Delegates from 23 countries are expected in the country for the 4th Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division Pathfinder Camporee, set to take place from the 13th to the 19th of this month at Glen City campsite in Goromonzi. The church's leadership, speaking shortly after arriving in the country, expressed confidence that the Camporee will benefit children spiritually and equip them to tackle societal challenges, including drug and substance abuse.
The theme for this event is Safe to Serve. And so we are here to challenge our young people to be effective instruments of the law and to be ready to serve humanity, to serve the communities where they are, and be able to be ready for the soon coming of Jesus, because Jesus is coming back again.
We're actually here to tell our young people that you have a role to play in the entire fiscus of making Zimbabwe, not only Zimbabwe, but in the entire region. Once you have understood what it means that you are a positive change to the community, when you are saved, please go and reach out to other young people as you serve them out of the menaces of this society. Talk about drug abuse, talk about child abuse, pornography, all these things. This camporee is prepared to make our young people ready to serve not only the nation of Zimbabwe, not only the continent of Africa, but the entire globe.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church's 4th Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division Pathfinder Camporee is a significant event celebrating the Pathfinder Club, a global youth development program that nurtures young people's spiritual, mental, social and physical growth through outdoor activities and camping. The event promotes teamwork, leadership and personal growth while showcasing Zimbabwe's cultural heritage and natural beauty, fostering cultural exchange and boosting tourism among participating nations. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe's road to independence was paved with immense sacrifices from both the battlefront and unwavering support from heroes and heroines who endured years of imperialist repression. This week, we journey into the life of a luminary and one of the 17 heroines buried at the National Heroes Eka, Comrade Sani Ntombiyelanga Takawira. Let's get more.
The former senator for Midlands and widow of the late veteran nationalist and ZANU founding vice president, Comrade Sani Ntombiyelanga Takawira, is the 5th heroine buried at the National Shrine. Zimbabwe will forever remember her as a generous, humble, a kind and caring mother who sacrificed a lot for the liberation of the country. She also suffered physically and mentally at the hands of the brutal and torturous oppressive racist regime because of her role in the liberation struggle and being married to the veteran Comrade Leopold Takawira. Comrade Sani Ntombiyelanga Takawira was born on the 2nd of July in 1927 in Duve village under Chief Maduna in Caesar district in Mashonaland South province. She was the second child and oldest girl in a family of 7, 3 girls and 4 boys. As the colonial regime began to forcibly relocate Africans to create land for the white settlers, her father, John Hlodlo Duve, and his family were moved by the Rhodesian government to Nkai. Educated at Hope Foundation Mission, Amai Takawira trained as a nurse at Mulene Mission Hospital in Mberengwa. She first worked at Gokwe Hospital before moving to Harare Central Hospital, now Salim Gabe Central Hospital in 1955. She was among the pioneer nurses in the casualty and outpatient departments at Harare Hospital. On the 2nd of September 1955, she got married to the late Vice President of ZANU, Comrade Leopold Takawira, in Gokwe, and this marked the beginning of her involvement in nationalist politics. Amai Takawira hosted early nationalists when they held secret meetings at a home at number 3851 Jabavu Drive in Highfield, Harare. The West came Takawira following the banning of ZANU in 1964 and the incarceration of his leadership, including Comrade Leopold Takawira. She endured the challenges of fending for her family as a single parent and the constant harassment by the white oppressive regime. After independence, Amai Takawira continued to work for the betterment of Zimbabwe. She died on the 13th of January in 2010 at her home in Mount Pleasant.
Theophilus Chuma with that feature, taking us to our Montreux studios in Bulawayo, and it is good to see Arthur Evans. Good evening to you, and it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Joyce, and to the team at Pocket Hill. Well, Zimbabwe's strategic deployment of tourism attachés to key international countries is bearing fruit, with a group of Israeli tourists enjoying a 7-day holiday in Victoria Falls.
Last year, the government deployed tourism attachés to key markets such as the United Arab Emirates, India, and South Africa to help promote Zimbabwe globally. Thanks to the efforts of these dedicated professionals, a group of 120 Israeli tourists arrived in Victoria Falls this Sunday for a week-long holiday. This marks the largest group from Israel since the attaché's appointment, with the visitors eager to experience the country's natural beauty and friendly people.
It's great to be here in Zimbabwe. We are here to see the country, the Victoria Falls, the Awange.
I want to see the real nature and experience the difference between our Western world and this one. I feel much more connected here, being here.
I hope to see many animals in the falls.
We're coming for vacation and mostly to see animals and nature.
The trip organizer expressed satisfaction with the reception and pledged to bring more tourists from the Middle East.
Till now we brought very small groups to Zimbabwe, but now we discovered that this country is a beautiful country, a very unique place for the tourism. So now we start to bring direct flights from Israel. The next flight will come in October, will be more than 200 people, and another one will come in December.
The Middle East is a promising source market for Zimbabwe's tourism industry, with initiatives like these playing a crucial role in boosting the country's visibility and attracting more visitors through positive word-of-mouth promotion. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Players in the sugar production industry say that preparations for the 2025 sugar production harvesting season are at an advanced stage, with milling processes expected to commence at month end.
Sugarcane outgrowers are optimistic about the 2025-26 season, scheduled to start on April 29, but emphasize the need for continuous engagement with millers to address issues hindering productivity in the sector.
We are ready for the season. We are fully equipped and we have serviced our machines. Our only critical issue is the milling quotas that we have. We would like the milling quotas to be at least in favor of the farmers.
There was some sort of selective milling of our sugarcane. Basically, I think it was due to tight cash flows with our miller. So my advocate this year is we want honest dialogue between the miller and the farmer.
Tonga Gillard Zimbabwe, which operates the 2 sugar mills at Hippo Valley and Triangle Estates, says the mills have undergone maintenance to ensure optimal performance during this year's harvesting and milling season.
For this season, we are expecting to produce around 410,000 tons of sugar. And you will note that this is less than what we produced in the previous season, at 439 tons of sugar. And the reason really is because we had quite a bit of carryover cane from the previous season. So this year we are more or less resetting and getting back to what you may consider as normal.
Zimbabwe's sugar industry produces an average of 400,000 tons of sugar per year, with 300,000 tons consumed locally and the remaining 100,000 tons exported. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
Next, our attention is taken to the east of the country, where the ZANU-PF Women's League has launched economic empowerment programs in Mashonaland East to support the success of Vision 2030, aiming to enhance women's economic participation.
The ZANU-PF Women's League says Vision 2030 is not political rhetoric, but an economic empowerment vision meant to transform lives of the citizenry. As part of supporting the vision, the league has procured a hatchery with a capacity to hatch 3,600 eggs for use by the Women's League from Mashonaland East.
nechinhu zvanandifungidzira kuti nyika yedu ingasununguke, madzimai ekwedu angasumuke. That's the empowerment in support of the 2030 vision yaPresident. Zvauya neincubator vision 2030 zvainoreva, inoreva kuti haina munhu wainofanirwa kusiya panze. Mazvizwa kana dziri huku dzinofanirwa kusvika kumuchendere ari paground.
The Mashonaland East Women's League is appreciative of the gesture.
Tinoda kutenda empowerment iri kuuya kumadzimai. Tiri kupiwa masimba, tiri kupiwa njere, tiri kupiwa zivo rekuti torarama sei.
Women's League tanzwa kufara zvisingaiti. Nechikonzero chekuti donzvo nderekuti mudzimai wega wega ngaaite huku pamba. Ende chikunyanya kutifadza ndechekuti maroad runner ndidzo huku dzine utano hadzinetse kunyanya kuchengeta kunyanya panyaya dzechikafu.
Members of the Women's League from the province's 9 districts also exhibited various empowerment projects they benefited from the Women's League. Gerald Sasa, BC News, Marondera.
Speaking of women in the country, we'll be returning to our Pockets Hill news desk with our two fantastic ladies immediately after this break. Do stay with us.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Sunday edition. Thank you for staying with us, and many thanks to RTC Events and the team at our Montreal studios for taking us through that part of the bulletin. Now, our next report is one that affects a significantly good number of people. While gambling has been there since time immemorial, the scourge of sports betting addiction has become a major cause for concern in recent times.
And now this and that feature tonight, our Mashonaland West Bureau Chief Takawira Charakupa interrogates the scourge, which is affecting many, including youths. Let's follow through.
A Chinoi resident, Kingston Kugonya, is one of the many Zimbabweans hooked up to sports betting despite being found on the losing side most of the time. Though he is trying hard to recover from the betting addiction, Kugonya recounts how he at some point would literally dream, eat and live betting.
Ini ndakundotamba kandeki kaka ndokandotamba ndoti ndakashanda ndakana $5 ndondonokanda betting ndakanda betting kutanga ndojuza dollar re bundle ndokatanga katamba but ukatamba manje kasingeke so far mara ndikawina ishoma.
In a betting house, scores of people are found partaking on all sorts of gambling, from making their predictions on football matches to placing their odds on races involving horses, dogs and of late planes, popularly known as kandege in bettors' language. Interestingly, when one bets on kandege or races by dogs and horses, it takes them minutes to learn their fate, and if one is unfortunate, as is usually the case, they can part with their hard-earned cash within minutes. In an event of a correct prediction, there is always a temptation to chase the next game.
Betting wepa unongoti naso wajiwa ka mangwanda kashanda kana nga 5 unoka kanda ufunga kuti ndo winner sandoramba chingoita sei chingoita ko unongotamba chi betting ufunga ndo winner but winner ama 1
nasi vanhu vakungoswera betting sekubasa kumikira mangwanani kunyanga basa pavhurwa vanomirira kusvika pavhurwa. That's why vakutora betting senzira yotsvaka nayo mari. At the same time vakutora betting sebasa. As a result vamwasvika pakuzviuraya.
Others are, however, skeptical of programmed games, hence focus on football.
Zvezimbwa dzedzi handitambi kana zvezvindege zvezvi handitambi. I play soccer betting. Man U versus Man City, I can just go and place $10 US. Ndotora mari yangu mangwana. Ndikadyiwa it's okay.
However, experts believe that just like drug and substance abuse, sports betting addiction is yet another serious scourge, rendering most youth unproductive.
As an accountant, I will not advise people to bet. One, betting is high risk. You end up having with $1,000 betting and you lose in a second. We're having things like kandege, things like betting soccer. I'll give an example of a recent match, Arsenal versus Real Madrid. It was certain that Madrid is going to win, but they lost. So we advise people not to rely on betting. If you have your money, do other investments. Come and seek professional advice and do other investments which are better than to predict money. Money is not predictable.
According to a Geopoll survey, at least 76% of the youth population in Africa has at one point staked a bet online. Whether done for fun or to earn a living, sports betting is a major cause for concern, considering the addiction it comes with. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chinoi.
Oh, betting sounds tempting, isn't it? Well, you need to play your maturity card if you really want to indulge. Well, let's shift our attention to the world of innovators, where a resourceful locksmith has engineered a remote vehicle starting system offering a blend of convenience and enhanced security for older vehicles and agricultural machinery.
Using simple electronics, Kudakwashe Goteka has turned discarded car alarm circuit boards into a device that allows users to start their motor vehicle engines from up to 15 meters away without any physical access. This cost-effective system addresses a gap in the market for owners of older vehicle models that lack the remote start functionality found in some top-range modern cars.
Design a system yokuti unokwanisa kuita remote starting pamotikari yako, especially motikari dzekudhara dzidzi dzakaita sekuma 1990s 1999 zvimwera zvakadaro. System iyi ndaishandisa zvima-alarm zvezvi ma-circuit board ema-alarm anenge akafaya nemamwe ma-circuit board ema-radio ema-TV nikirike ndo andabatanidza ma-circuits achena. Saka unozoklona remote yakaita kunge this one. Remote is common remote ndema-alarm. Inini ndiri locksmith basa rangu, saka kazhinji ndaisangana nezvinhu zvakadai, so kune vanhu vaiuya vachida kukwanisa kuti designire system pamotikari. For example, munhu anogona kunge achiwo imwe motikari inenge ine system yakanaka yekuti aiudza iri kurefu.
One key advantage of this system is convenience, particularly for diesel vehicles, as users can remotely start their cars from the comfort of their homes or workplaces, allowing the engine to warm up to optimal operating temperature while they attend to other tasks. This is especially beneficial during colder months and it reduces engine wear and tear.
Mudenga unokwanisa kuimutsa, saka ndida kuti try kumutsa motikari yangu ndiri panapa nditi. Ndaimutsa motikari yangu ndiri panapa yomboita warm up. Ndokona kuidzima futi motikari yoyo ndiri panapa. Pandaimutsira kana kupi ndokwanisa kuidzima. Kana ndaona time yandoda kuti motikari iite iite yakwana. Like this ndakutanya button remote button ready no.
The remote start system also presents a significant security enhancement. Owners can preemptively start their vehicle if they suspect any suspicious activity or tampering, potentially deterring theft. Word of this innovation has been spreading fast and it is likely to gain a significant interest from vehicle and machinery owners seeking affordable and effective solutions for convenience and security. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Bindura.
A great innovation there. This will look at our science and technology. Now we take a look at showbiz, where Zimbabwe's agriculture sector is making significant strides, with the Zimbabwe Agricultural Society signing agreements with the government to boost productivity and economic growth. We get more in the following report.
The signing of two agreements over the weekend marked a huge milestone in terms of facilitating the role of the private sector in promoting farming production in terms of capacity building and skills training. It also created a platform to assess the importance of partnerships in promoting agricultural value chains.
As government, we are really pushing for private sector-led and government-facilitated agricultural development. What we are seeing with the Zimbabwe Agricultural Society is where the development and capacitation of our farmers is taking center stage, as well as the development and capacitation of our extension officers is taking center stage.
The government reviews a commitment to forge alliances with the private sector.
By signing this agreement, we are collaborating with government to have a symbiotic relationship in which we will be providing resources to government to develop rural livelihoods in our communities.
The private sector-led agriculture industry is premised towards value addition, resource mobilization, human capital development, contract farming, among other indicators. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The Genetic Innovation Expo held in Harare over the weekend emphasized the importance of climate-proofing agriculture through the use of genetic seed variants well suited to Zimbabwe's climate.
Speaking on the sidelines of the Genetic Innovation Expo, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development, Professor Obed Jiri, highlighted the importance of plant breeders in improving local genetics.
All our crops, our prowess in crops and livestock is based on what we have in the gene pool. And this is why the Zimbabwe Plant Breeders Association is important, to say that everything that we have and what we can improve on must be based on what genes we have, the gene pool that we have. if we are to respond to climate change, if we are to respond to diseases, if we are to respond to the changing environment, we must respond to that utilizing changing genetics to be able to respond to those challenges that we have.
Plant breeders say they are dedicated to developing crop varieties that support climate mitigation strategies, focusing on resilient and adaptable traits to help farmers navigate changing environmental conditions.
This expo is very important. As Sitco, we are also breeding various varieties from vegetables, field crops, that contributes to food security of the country.
The expo's focus on climate-resilient agriculture aligns with Zimbabwe's pressing need to address climate-related crises, with innovations aiming to mitigate threats to the country's agricultural sector. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
Do remember to visit our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw and you can get news on the go. You can also interact with us on our various social media platforms, that is at ZBC News Online. We were also streaming live on Facebook. The Sunday edition takes a break. Do join us for Sports Buzz shortly. Welcome back. We now take a look at what has been happening on the sports field in Sports Buzz. Starting off with Bulawayo Giants Highlanders that aged fading Giants kept United 1-0 in a Castle Lager Premier Soccer League Match Day 6 fixture in a thrilling encounter at Barbourfields Stadium this Sunday. We get more from Anashe Murombezi.
The Battle of the Cities, the Sobloi Giants capitalized on Caps United's struggles, with the recent Sibanda scoring the solitary goal just 2 minutes into the match. Despite Caps United continuously probing the Highlanders' rear guard, they could not generate the momentum needed to trouble the hosts' defense. The second half saw Caps United push harder to find an equalizer, creating numerous chances, but ultimately failing to find the back of the net. Highlanders, buoyed by their home support, defended resolutely to see out the win. The victory has seen Highlanders move to 9 points, sitting 7th on the log table. Meanwhile, Caps United's struggles continue, with the team registering their 4th loss in 6 matches and seeking second from the bottom on the log with the 4 points. In other matches, Chicken Inn sealed a 1-0 win over another fading Giants Dynamos thanks to Brian Muse's 86th minute strike. Another Harare side, Heroine, suffered a 1-0 loss to league debutants Moors, who are riding high with the 14 points after the win. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Platinum Royals kicked off their Women Premier Soccer League campaign with a resounding 5-0 victory over Harare City Queens at Mandava Stadium, signaling their ambitious intentions in the league.
Platinum Royals kicked off the 2025 Women Premier Soccer League season with a thrilling 5-0 demolition of Harare City Queens at Mandava Stadium. Playing in their favorite hunting ground, the Platinum Miners exhibited a show of determination in the first half, with Charity Karuru opening the scoring in the 37th minute to give your side the advantage. Energy Chemera added a brace in the second half, scoring in the 60th and 73rd minutes. Charmaine Kapachi then scored to make it 4-0, while new signing Alicia Chinyoka sealed the win with her first touch, scoring on debut in the 84th minute. This dominant performance matched the biggest scoreline of the season so far, putting Platinum Royals at the top of the log standings alongside Chapungu Queens and Correctional Queens. The three teams now top the log standings after the 2025 Women Premier Soccer League calendar opening match day. Reynald Guarati, ZBC News.
And now in rugby, the Zimbabwe women's rugby team, the Lady Sables, has started strongly in the Rugby Africa Cup Division 1 Women's Cup in Cote d'Ivoire as it strives to qualify for the Rugby Africa Cup qualification. Let's get more in the following report.
Zimbabwe's Lady Sables women's rugby team got off to a strong start in the Rugby Africa Division 1 Women's Cup, thumping host Cote d'Ivoire 46-8 in their opening match. They are now preparing for their next match against Tunisia on Tuesday, where they will face a team looking to bounce back from a 27-10 loss to Uganda. With a crucial match against Uganda looming 4 days later, the Lady Sables are determined to maintain their momentum and secure top spot, potentially earning a coveted place in the Rugby Africa Cup, which will feature elite teams among them South Africa, Madagascar and Kenya. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
And that is what was buzzing in the world of sport. Taking us to a break, we'll be back shortly with Showbiz. Thank you for staying with us. It is strictly a women's affair on our showbiz this Sunday as Harare came alive at the Duke and Slay's vintage-themed event which took place at Alex Sports Club.
Duke and Slay continues to become a sanctuary for women to escape social pressures and enjoy good food and music. The star-studded musical lineup featured renowned jazz band In Total, known for their vintage music renditions and smooth ensemble compositions. Zim dancehall sensation Winky D lit the stage with an electric performance mesmerizing audiences. Feli Nandi serenaded the crowd, making it a true ladies' affair. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News.
There are so many exciting events that Zimbabwe has to offer, and the amazing thing is that if you miss that one, there is still something that is coming through for you.
Yes, indeed, there is something coming through, and independence celebrations are also in the air, and we are already in that mood. And in our next report,
yes, definitely. So there's something a bit cultural as well that is coming through. Like we saw that the Duke and Slate was vintage themed, and something we would have loved because vintage has a bit of a, not really culture, but a theme that's quite interesting. While the National Gallery of Zimbabwe will host a food and beverage culinary arts exhibition in Harare from the 1st to the 3rd of May with the aim of preserving local culture through the celebration of traditional cuisine. And of course, this is the exciting part. We get more details.
Speaking to ZBC News, Administrator at the National Gallery of Zimbabwe, Mr. Livingston Muchefa, emphasized the importance of culinary arts in cultural preservation.
Culinary arts has been one major cultural practice that has been left out for quite some time, and we feel that it is now the time for us to take it up. This is something that we should all be responsible for, and especially for the National Gallery would support everyone who comes up with an idea along those lines to promote visual arts, to promote any form of creative process that will help us to remember our culture, to preserve it.
The event seeks to ensure no one is left behind in preserving culture through culinary arts.
We are inviting people in the food industry, culinary arts, hoteliers and all that to come here and display their work. In that same event, we are also having people who are going to be giving some public talks as to the importance and the significance of this whole event.
The exhibition aims to celebrate Zimbabwean culinary traditions while fostering innovation in the food and hospitality sector. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, thank you, Farai Gwaze. That was looking appetizing. I wish I was there. But anyway, I'm sure you're wondering whether it will continue raining, it will be sunny, it will be windy. Well, we will wait no longer because the weather report and forecast is up next with the details.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast. Hope I find you well with a bit of showers over the northern parts of the country. This was because of the fringes of the ITCZ, which is over the northern part of the country. It was rather mild over these parts and cool over much of the country, with isolated showers in areas such as Kariba, also in Mashonaland East, Rushinga area, as well as Gokwe. This is the fringes of the ITCZ over the northern part of the country, filtering into Zambia there, but we're still expecting a bit of odd showers or so as we get into the later parts of this week. It should be mild over those northern parts of the country with a bit of clouds there, becoming warmer by afternoon across much of the country. So we still advise you that when thunder rolls, it's best to be indoors. For Bulawayo, expecting more of the sunny skies tomorrow with brief cloudy periods during the week. Same for Matopo, we're expecting to be milder across much of the country. One expecting also sunny skies as we get into Monday, whilst Masvingo has the touches of cloud whilst most of the Gweru areas have got scattered clouds because of remnant pockets of moisture. Same for Kwekwe, we're expecting a bit of moisture to lead to isolated showers because of the fringes of the ITZ over these northern areas. Same for Kadoma, we're still expecting touches of cloud. Harare expecting a bit of sunny breaks here and there, but an odd shower too cannot be ruled out, especially towards evening hours. Same for Chinhoyi because of that ITZ still being active over those northern parts of the country, but it's very little in terms of rainfall projected over Lupana area. Same for Victoria Falls, where the ITCZ is not very active over those northern parts of the country. Whilst for areas such as Kariba, we're still expecting an odd shower too, similar as that which fell yesterday, about 19 millimeters of rain. For Bindura, expecting touches of cloud here and there. Same for Marondera, with a bit of showers later on this week. Therefore, we still urge you that when thunder roars, it's best to be indoors. So also plan your weather with those odd showers projected around Tuesday and Thursday. Same for Nyanga, we're still expecting touches of cloud because of remnant moisture. That's all for the weather forecast in a place in Zimbabwe. I'm James Kuma Jr. for the Met Department.
Many thanks to James there for giving us that detailed weather report and focused. And like we said, Tanaka, we're already in the celebration mood.
Definitely.
As we are building up to our independence, and there are lots of activities lined up. We have the children's party, we have provincial celebrations, we also have the main celebration. There is a gala as well.
There is a gala.
Yes, and well, for the main ones, Gokwe Nembudzia is the place to be.
Definitely, and as we are still in the independence spirit, we'll leave you watching our video of the week, and this one is titled Jikomborero by Comrade Chinks and Ilanga. So sit back, relax, but as always, we always know that we prefer that people get up and dance, so you might as well start celebrating. Let's have a look.
Enjoy.
This music, you know, it's a transition, right? From liberation music up to the music for development and reconciliation. At the present moment, we have got this unity. We want it so much, and we will have to develop our country. And to develop our country, we must be reconciled fully. And all my music should touch on these lines. And the way I do it is I'll have to say where the bad is and say where the good is. Right? To the truth of the good is where everyone should look to. So I shun the bad and always promote the good.